Right, now I'm going to go on to the superior vena cava. This pretty much it returns blood from the head, neck, chest, upper limbs, back. It brings it back to the heart. It's the largest vein in the body, and these veins can greatly vary in size as well. It brings the blood back to the right atrium or chamber of our heart. The blood will collect more oxygen and prepare to be pumped back through the arteries. Now onto the inferior vena cava, which is at the bottom of the heart. It returns blood from all other parts of the body back to the heart. As we get further away from the heart, towards the extremities, the veins branch out and get much smaller. The smallest veins are called venules. Hence, we don't have veins the size of the ones in your heart that you do sort of going through your sort of forearms and biceps, etc. Blood vessels are designed to accommodate for more varying volumes and pressures of blood. There is a certain degree of expansion and contraction involved in the process of moving blood through the body. For that reason, these vessels features such as muscles, elastic fibers, proteins like collagen, which allow for flexibility. Since veins do not need to withstand as much pressure as arteries, they have much less elasticity and smooth muscle. For this reason, veins do not tend to hold their shape and appear floppy. The valve between the right atrium and the right ventricle is called the tricuspid valve. This valve opens to allow blood to be pumped from the right atrium to the right ventricle. Once blood has passed through the valve closes to blood, so blood cannot pass back, which is called the backflow of blood. The name tricuspid comes from the name of the fact that it has three flaps, so it's pretty self-explanatory, really. The valve between the left atrium and the left ventricle is called the bicuspid valve, so always try before you buy. It also allows the flow of blood in one direction. After the oxygenated blood flows from the atrium to the ventricle, the valve closes to prevent the flow of blood going backwards, so again, the backflow of blood. This valve has only two flaps, which gives it the name bicuspid valve. The aortic valve is located between the aorta and the heart's left ventricle. The pulmonary vein delivers oxygenated blood to the heart's left atrium. Then it passes through the mitral valve into the left ventricle. With each of the heart's muscles contractions, oxygenated blood exits the left ventricle through the aortic valve. In most cases, three flaps compromise the valve. Now onto the pulmonic vein, which divides the right ventricular outflow tract from the pulmonary vein. In normal conditions, the pulmonic vein prevents regurgitation of oxygenated blood from the pulmonary artery back to the right ventricle. It is a semilunar valve with three cusps and is located anterior superior, so at the top and at the back, and slightly to the left of the aortic valve. Like the aortic valve, the pulmonic valve is. Alright, now we'll go on to neural control, such as your boron and chemon receptors, which are in the blood, which detect changes in the body. So homeostasis is where all the levels in the body are completely normal. These boron and chemon receptors will tell you if the body's getting too hot, so the brain will send signals to start sweating to help you cool yourself down. If you're getting too cold, the hairs will stand up to try and attract more heat. Also in neural control, this can also refer to respiration, which interactions between the networks of neurons that regulate movements of the lungs, airways, chest, walls, and abdomen. In order to accomplish effective organismal uptake of oxygen and expulsion of carbon dioxide, airway liquids, and irritants, and also they regulate the blood pH, so make sure the blood isn't too acidic or too alkaline. This is now the end of my Anatomy Assignment 3 resubmission. Thank you for listening. Ooh.